कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भु माते संगोष्ठव कर्मणि. Hello friends, this is the 47th shlok of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and in today's video we will understand this shlok in detail. So the shlok says Karmanyavadhikaraste, which means you have the right towards your action. Ma phaleshu kadachana, which means never on their fruits. Ma karmphal heturbhu, which means neither be for the fruits of action. Mate sangoštva karmani, which means and do not attach to inaction. So in this shlok, Shri Krishna is telling Arjun about the Karma Yoga, and what Shri Krishna is telling him is that do you have the right towards your action, but you do not have any right over the consequences of that action, which is the results of that actions. So you should act in a way where you do not attach to the fruits of your actions, and you should also not attach to inaction itself. Now, this shlok is one of the most popular shloks of Bhagavad Gita, and if you go to India, then you will see that small kids even know about this shlok, and this shlok often gets quoted quite a lot. So many a times the shlok gets simplified, and people just say that Gita says that you should perform your duty and do not worry about the results. So that is definitely the crux of the idea over here, but you have to also understand things in detail to really get the whole meaning of this shlok, because this is one of the most important shloks of Bhagavad Gita. So from here onwards, Shri Krishna is now starting to tell Arjun about Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga is basically yoga which is performed through action. So it is basically mentioned that the right way to act in this world is to act through Karma Yoga. So that's why this shlok becomes very important. The basic idea over here is, as mentioned previously, that you have the independence to act, you have the freedom to act, but you do not have the freedom for the consequences of your action. So let's understand this in more detail. What does this mean? Now, you must have seen that in the modern times AI is really taking off, and artificial intelligence is considered to be the next big thing, but it's still not there yet. So the question that often comes into the mind of ours is basically that what is the difference between man and machine? So these days machines have become quite smart, and they can identify what you are saying. They can then give you instructions accordingly, and they pretty much put the voice of a person behind a phone, and you can speak with the phone, and it almost appears as if you are speaking with some other person. But what is it that makes that machine different from us? The difference basically lies in the programming itself. The machine has been programmed by us to act in a certain way, so it does not have the freedom to act on its own will. It can only act based on the programming that has been done to it, while we humans, we are free. We have the freedom to act whichever way. So as an example, if you are given a task to choose between yellow balls and red balls which are present in a tray, the machine, when it is programmed to only pick yellow balls, it will only pick yellow balls because it's limited to the programming that has been done to it. While we as humans, we always have the freedom to choose either the yellow ball or the red ball. So if our boss has asked us to only pick up the yellow ball, then we have the freedom to pick red ball also. But what we do not have the freedom to is the reaction of our boss. If we'll pick red ball, then our boss will get angry on us, and we do not have any control over what he does. So that is what over here Shri Krishna is telling Arjun, that you have the freedom to act whatever way you want to act, but you do not have the freedom to determine the consequences of your actions. So this was a very simple idea of picking red ball or yellow ball. In the life itself, when we are living, we are many a times presented with a lot of options in terms of our action, and we being humans always looking for the shorter path, we generally try to choose a path which is the shortest to get our work done. So when that happens, then we run into the risk of performing something which might not be appropriate. So that way also we have the freedom to act whichever way we want, but we do not have the control over the consequences of our actions. You might have seen many a times that people do many good things in their life, but they still do not get results out of it. People are working very, very hard on some things, but they still do not get results out of them. So that is again the situation where you can see that even if you are doing good things, even if you are doing something which is uh, in the benefit of the society, you many a times do not really get the desired result out of it. I mean, many a times you will see that okay, this person deserves far more than what he is acting at. So this is another situation where the person has the freedom to act whichever way they want, but the results are really not in their hands. This goes very much against the modern day dogma where the motivation gurus will tell you, that you should work very hard, you should do this thing, you should do that thing, and success is completely guaranteed if you act like this, if you act like that. The truth is that that is all just dreaming words, you can say, or something which is not perfect. The reality of things is that you can do your work really hard, you can do all the right things, and even then you might end up not succeeding in your situation. This is the truth. Even in your life, you'll see all around you that many a times people are doing good things, but they do not really get good results out of it. So the results are not really in your control. What is in your control is only your action. So the problem that we as a humanity face over here is this, and if we do not correct for this, if we do not behave in a way which is adjusted for this situation of ours, then we will run into issues. If you are doing your work and you're not really getting results out of it as you expect coming out of it, then it will frustrate you. When it will frustrate you, then you will become desperate. In desperation, you might end up doing something which is unethical. If you do something unethical, then the consequences of that, of course, are going to be that you are going to get bad results out of it. So that's why you have to understand that you only have control over your actions. You do not have control over the results of it, and therefore the work that you have to do has to be done in a manner where that work in itself becomes the thing which gives you satisfaction or which gives you pleasure. You if you are looking if you're doing a work in a way where you are bearing the work and you're hoping that I will get something good out of it, I will get something beneficial out of it for myself, then you will run into problems. So that's why Sri Krishna is saying that do not attach yourselves to the fruits of your actions, because if you are attaching to the fruits of your actions, then that will make you desperate and then you will end up performing something foolish. Now, many times over here, people say that, okay, if you do not have any benefit out of your action, then why will you perform an action? And that's a very valid point that many times people raise. But the thing is that the situation is like this, right? I mean, if you act and you do not get results, the results are not in your control. So definitely you will not get the results. So you have to change your mindset over here. The thing is that, of course, you cannot be in a situation where you'll just stop acting at all. That is also not the right way, because if you'll just stop acting at all, that is also an action and it'll also have a consequence. If there is something bad going on and you do not act, then again it will have a consequence for you. Or if you just stop acting, then also it will have a consequence. If you stop eating, how will you survive? If you stop sleeping, then how will you survive? So that is the other thing. There you don't have an option not to act as such, because non-action is also an action, and it will also have its consequences. So the solution to all of this basically is that you have to act in a manner where all your actions are basically motivated by your love towards God, which means that all your actions are motivated towards doing good in this society, not for your own personal gain. When you'll start acting like that, when you'll start acting in a manner where you're not really concerned about your own gain, you're only doing it as uh, you're only doing it as a dedication towards your towards God, if you're doing it only as from the sake of your love towards your God, then that action is what is the superior action. That action is what will move you up, which will take you up. Because you have to always understand that any action which is performed with self-interest can never be right action. It can never be a dharmic action. Self-interest and righteousness, they cannot stay hand in hand together. So that is something that you have to understand. You have to do things which are good for everyone, and as a consequence of that good thing that you're doing for everyone, if you get good out of it, then that's a completely different thing altogether. That good that you get is the real good. So if you'll start acting like this, then your whole life will become far more easier to live, because otherwise you are living a very frustrated, fearful life if you're performing all your actions for your own benefit. So if you want to live a independent life, free from all these trouble, free from all the frustration, and moving yourself up towards divinity, then you have to act in a selfless manner. Then only you can achieve it. So that is the core of the message in this shlok. I hope I've explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.